This monitor completely changed the way that I play games. In the past, I viewed monitors very differently. The only thing that I looked at was the refresh rate. I bought a monitor that was 240 hertz, but everything else about it was pretty lackluster. It was only $100 something at the time, but I didn't realize how much of an upgrade a good monitor was. With GPU prices skyrocketing right now and it being difficult to upgrade your computer, a monitor is the best upgrade for you. If you were like me in the past, I had a really nice computer and I was running at 1080p on a VA panel with terrible colors at 240 hertz, getting terrible motion blur. But when I upgraded to the ASUS, it's a long name, it's kind of hard to say, the ASUS XG27AQDMG, everything changed. So this gaming monitor is an OLED gaming monitor, which is what makes it so special. OLED gaming monitors have been out for a while, but I'm going to tell you why. It's different now and it's going to get better in the future. Mainly the prices and every downside that you've ever heard about OLEDs is going away. So this ASUS monitor is OLED, 240 hertz refresh rate, 1440p. It is a WOLED panel and it's one of the first glossy WOLED panels. When people talk about glossy versus matte, glossy is a very clear experience versus matte, which is why people prefer it. It also is one of the brightest WOLED monitors there is. It gets up to 700 nits peak brightness. See, before I bought this monitor or thought about getting an OLED monitor, I never played any single player games or any games where immersion was the biggest thing. I played strictly competitive games, but after getting this monitor, everything changed for me. A whole new spectrum of games opened up because what I wanted was to see those beautiful scenes on this monitor and get immersed into something. And it's truly an experience. The thing about OLED, if you don't already know, is it has super deep blacks. So this makes every single pixel lights up on its own. Different from an LED where they might have a couple different backlighting zones. Every single pixel is a backlight zone. So this makes OLED have basically infinite contrast ratios. Now, out of all the 1440p 240 hertz OLED monitors that there are, this one is definitely a premium option, and I've seen it drop in price recently, which means it has better color accuracy and calibration than some other monitors. Like I said, it also gets brighter. That WOLED screen, you get better text clarity than some QD OLEDs. You also don't get a magenta tint whenever there is some ambient light in the room hitting the screen. So it makes those blacks appear deeper. The thing is when I was using a VA panel, I didn't realize that 240 hertz on a VA panel versus 240 hertz on an OLED panel was way different. The reason for that is because OLED has super fast response times. So 0.03 milliseconds is what all of them are rated. And with my VA panel, it was pretty terrible at about 5 milliseconds, and you can really notice that difference, along with the VA panel having really bad ghosting. Everything was so crystal clear. If I took a screenshot of it, there would be no motion blur. And I could tell that in some games where people were strafing really fast. Maybe in Valorant, you're shooting where his head was instead of shooting him. But taking this monitor out of the box when I first got it, I was very impressed by the unboxing experience. I didn't film it all the way, but I'll show you what comes in the box in just a second. The build quality on the stand, my stand for my last monitor did not even let me adjust it. But this one has really awesome build quality. It's a metal, but it's super sturdy plastic all the way around. There's a lot of useful features, mainly a phone stand in the front, and then they also have cable management. I think there's a little screw hole on the top. I think that's something to do with the webcam or camera. I'm not sure. Has a bunch of useful ports: HDMI, 2.1, DisplayPort, 1.4. They have a USB 3, which I'm not sure what I would use that for, but it's there if you want it. And then they have a couple of USB ports on the back. My only gripe is that they don't have a USB-C on the back, not that I can see. And that'd be awesome just to have, because I know a lot of the other monitors have really high wattage charging, just because OLED takes a lot of power. I think there's a 100-watt power brick that's hooked up to this monitor. What I love about the back is they have a couple grips on there in order to mount it. And it was really easy to put on the stand. There was no screws, no anything, which I love. And then you can take it off really easy. There's a little notch back there. It also did come with a face mount if you want to mount it to a monitor arm or mount it anywhere else on a different stand. I don't know if I did mention, but it is 26.5 inches. So 26 inches. I had a 24-inch monitor before. I didn't realize the difference in size, but 26 is a very big dramatic leap from 24, which I didn't notice. And also with the bezels being so small on this one, I think that makes a difference too. When we're talking about brightness, I know a lot of people's gripes with OLED monitors, they don't get bright enough, but my monitor before this deal better. It was supposed to deal better with light handling, but this monitor does a perfect job. And when I shine a light straight at it, I'm not seeing any reflections. It gets super bright, especially it gets bright enough for me, I would say. I don't have a ton of ambient light in the background, but I do have a couple windows right behind me. And I think with a full window blasting behind me, you would be able to see the screen and be perfectly fine. So I think a lot of tech reviewers that have tried so many different products, they gripe about this stuff a lot more than someone like me who's picking it up for the first time and seeing it for the first time. This is basically everything that I would need or want. It gets brighter than some of my other screens. I think it gets 450 nits max brightness, and I think that's in the regular mode. HDR peak 1000. If we're talking about uniform brightness, I think it's 200 something nits. The color accuracy is very good. sRGB 135%, DCI-P3 99%. A super great monitor, and from the reviews that I heard, I haven't tried any other monitors, but this was the best one. And I also watched a couple videos. There are some out there. I'll probably link them in the description. Just some ways to calibrate it, just to get it a little bit more color accurate. The other thing is that ASUS has a lot of features that they put on this monitor just because this is a higher price monitor compared to the other ones that have the same specs. So they have ELMB, or black frame insertion, to make the motion blur and the motion clarity way better. Along with that, they have a ton of OLED care features. So if you're worried about burn-in, do not be worried about burn-in. I know Monitors Unboxed, they do a burn in their monitor on purpose, their QD OLED 4K monitor on purpose. And it was at a year now, they just did an update, and barely any difference. You could barely see a line across the screen. Now I'm not really worried about that. I do keep all those features on, along with a screensaver, hiding taskbar, things like that, because I just forget to turn off my monitor all the time. So I always keep a screensaver on. After a minute or two, it turns it off. So I'm not worried about burn-in at all. They have a ton of other features, and what I do like is that the menu in here is really easy to navigate. They have two buttons on the back, and one is to turn off the monitor, I think, and one is to just exit the software. And then they have the little nipple thing to move around with, which is honestly really intuitive. I haven't tried that before, because just pressing a button and then pressing the two volume buttons to move stuff around, that is so difficult on literally any other TV or monitor. But for this, like, I'm in those settings all the time, changing stuff just because of how easy it is. So changing my brightness and things like that, when on other monitors, just changing the brightness is difficult for some reason. I don't know why they make it like that. And then they have some blue light filters with that's some stuff that people don't talk about, because I don't like going in Windows and just turning on the night mode. They have 4 stages of blue light filters depending on what time of night it is or whatever, to put those on, and you can change basically everything about the monitor to the color space and everything like that. So super quickly, I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all know and show you what came in the box with it, because it was a super awesome unboxing experience. So I'll show you all the stuff. They gave us a lot of cool little knickknacks. It's just awesome to me. They gave me this bag because with all the stuff that I got, all these cables, I need something to put it in. It's not cheap feeling or anything. It's a pretty decently, I saved this for the video because I had some, this is the VESA mount. You need to mount it to a monitor stand. And then really quick, I'll go ahead and peel this thing. Oh, did you see it? I don't think you saw it. The light was off. But yeah, there's the funny thing about this monitor was there was so much stuff to peel, because they just know that people love that. So you peel the monitor off, you peel a little thing off a random logo that's sitting back there. I did forget to mention the LED logo on the back with the ROGI is super awesome. I don't think that thing changes. If it does, then I don't know about it, but it's really awesome. So I did give away my HDMI cord. I don't need that thing, so I gave it to my girlfriend. This is the USB 3.0 and it comes with it. They're all ASUS branded, so they got some branding on the side. My display port's obviously plugged into my monitor right now, so I'm a VIP member, guys. Stickers, like who doesn't like some stickers? I put one on my phone, and who doesn't like a couple stickers? Like, might as well throw those in. Like, if you're a manufacturing anything, throw some stickers in. Nobody's gonna hate you for it. Don't care about a lot of this stuff, but the bag is awesome to get. The mount's cool, and then the stickers, you gotta love some stickers. So yeah, just to show you. So the big reason that I'm showing you this OLED monitor, because when I like to purchase something, this was a gift, but I definitely wanted it for a long time. So I watched a ton of videos about it. And I'm really into the scene right now. So the big thing is that this is still going to be a really good buy in the future, even though OLED prices are dropping, just because this is a really unique OLED. The ones that are coming out in June and July, I think July and August actually, I don't think there's any coming out this month. There's gonna be a 500 hertz OLED monitor, but if you want to get a monitor like this, a cheaper one, there's gonna be 280 hertz QD OLED monitors. They're gonna be brighter than this one. Some of the brightest monitors that come out, they're gonna be True Black 500. I think the cheapest one by Gigabyte is $499. If you're looking for a monitor, just wait 1 month and those monitors are gonna drop. I think some other brands are dropping them too. Maybe LG has one. I know MSI does. But they're all dropping the QD OLED 500 hertz and the 280 hertz. I think honestly, if you're already running a 240 hertz monitor, but it's not OLED, you're definitely still gonna tell a difference in response times, motion clarity, and that 240 hertz is gonna feel like an IPS 360 hertz, I bet. So, but definitely I think that this monitor specifically is still gonna be a really good buy when those monitors come out, or right now before they come out, just because it's so unique. If you like the text clarity of WOLEDs, if you like the darker blacks of WOLEDs without the magenta, I know that they don't have as good color performance, but you can't really tell unless you're a monitor head. So I'd say this is still a really good buy. This is the most excited that I've been for any desk setup upgrade that I've made. So I just wanted to share it because I bought my PC and I still had the same monitor. When you buy a PC and the same monitor, some games are gonna feel a little bit better because you're actually getting consistent frame rates, but you're not actually seeing that difference. But when you buy the 1440p monitor that can, your graphics card can run that 1440p and the higher refresh rates, that's when you're seeing a difference, and that's when your games are actually changing for the better. And that's when you start to play games that you wouldn't usually play because you're now into that immersive single player experience because your monitors look so beautiful. Like if you're running on a Zao eSports monitor, of course you're not gonna be playing, Elden Ring or Clear Obscure or anything like that. But yeah, I'll leave you all at that. If you're looking to buy this monitor, or if you already have one, like these things are amazing. This technology is getting tremendously good and it's just going to get better. And all the problems that people had before, they're pretty much gone away now. If not, they're going to be away in this generation or next generation of OLED monitors. There's going to be zero problems with them long term. Okay, so thank you for watching this far into the video. If you liked it, if you like this kind of stuff, show me some love down below, and I will see you in my next video.